What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 50. So we're going to do something different. As you guys can see in the title, we are probably going to touch on some cloud gaming news, but I think this episode is going to be special because we're going to reflect on the 50 previous episode that we've 49, if you want to call it, previous episode that we've done, and also just talk about some of the stuff that we enjoyed about it. Also, we'll be discussing grading the cloud gaming services so far for 2021. So yeah, let's just take a sec to say what's up to the members of this panel and see what they're playing, see what platform they're using. So let's get right into it. GTP, how are you, sir?
Oh, what's going on?
Hey. So how you
50,
been?
man.
Yeah, it's
I've been
crazy,
pretty good.
right?
I know,
It's
50
insane.
episodes, it's nuts.
It's insane.
Yeah, I've been good. It's been busy,
Yeah.
normal life stuff, work, mowing lawn, spending time with family, all that kind of stuff. So I haven't really had a lot of time to game the past week. It's just been too busy,
Yeah.
trying to get out what small amount of videos I have gotten out, and just work and life got really busy the past week. But all that changes after this weekend. It'll get back to normal. It just happened to be abnormal for a little bit there. But yeah, I haven't really had a chance to play anything. I think I did about an hour of Hades on xCloud last night because I was waiting for that to drop. It's a game I've already played on Switch and wanted to see how it would play, and it's great. It's running great on xCloud. It was a lot of fun on the iPad, but that's honestly probably about it for the whole week as far as gaming.
Yeah. And honestly speaking, there hasn't been a lot of big releases for the cloud, it seems like, in the last 2 weeks. August normally is a slow month, right? For gaming.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. Holt, it's good to see you back on the panel, sir. How are you? And what have you been playing? What platform?
Oh, so it's great to be back on. I've really missed it, so I'm glad that I actually got some time to actually jump back in with you guys. And the game I've actually played, I've been playing Forza Horizon 4 on xCloud because I wanted to see the new graphics. So I was like, oh, it looked absolutely amazing. So I've just been getting some practice in, looking forward to the new one.
Yeah. So are you able to notice the graphics improvement?
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Good stuff. Awesome. Again, it's good to have you back on the panel. How about you, Duncan? What have you been playing? How you been? And what platform?
I've just embarrassed myself and I've just checked my hours played over the last 2 weeks in Steam. Does anybody want to hazard a guess how many hours played?
Ooh,
55.
At 100.
you said 100?
At 153 hours over the last
Wow.
2 weeks. I have fallen in love with idle clickers when I'm doing things. I've got an idle clicker going, but I've also been playing some other games this week as well. I've just jumped into Faraday Protocol, which just came out on GFN this week. Absolutely amazing game. It reminds me of the Turing test. It is a nice sort of game. It's a puzzle. It's not overly hard. It does get yourself thinking. It is pretty cool. It just came off some Asada Corsa as well, and I have some Rocket League. I have been absolutely playing a ton on GFN over the last week. It's my go-to at this moment in time, and I am just really enjoying it. I don't know what's going on, but I think that the quality there in GFN is just. I think there's been something there. I'm playing on the Shield, and I think there's definitely, for me anyway, I'm seeing a big step up, a noticeable step up, and it is just looking brilliant for me at this moment in time.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. Glad that you're enjoying gaming. That's always the best, right? When you are having fun gaming. So good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, and
No.
them stupid idle games is you can have them off to the side when you're doing actual other stuff as well. You don't have to pay attention to them. So that's why it's inflating my numbers a bit.
Those are the fun ones. Fun ones for sure. Monkey, how are you doing, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
Grand. I'm absolutely grand. Like Hulk said, Forza Horizon 4. I've just fell back in with that game since the cloud came to the Xbox PC app. The quality and the latency for me is so much better than the browser. And I think I put in about 12 hours over my 2 days off during the week there. That was 2, 3 a.m. Up laters. So it was. That was really cool, man. I haven't stayed up like past midnight playing any games in such a long time. So I kind of got back in touch with the youth there. I had the cans of Monster going. I had the sweets going. None of them that gets your fingers sticky. And just loving Forza, getting ready for the new one coming. And before that, had a wee go at Hellblade, Senua's Secret, is it? I can't remember the name of it. Absolutely
Just say Hellblade.
Hellblade. Like, absolutely beautiful game. I don't know how I missed that. And then dropped in and out of Hades the last couple of days there. That was my first time ever playing it. Absolutely love it. I don't even care that I keep dying. I just everything about the game is just so good. Like every time you die, every run's different as well. It's so easy to jump in and out and out of. I was playing it on the way home from work on the mobile, sitting on the bus. So I can't complain, man. I've had a good week of gaming. I've really enjoyed myself for a change. Other than testing some games that you might not like and whatnot. Yeah, just what a great week for gaming I've had. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Good, man. Good. It's pretty cool to see you guys all gaming, man. That's awesome. So I haven't gamed as much as I would like. It's been kind of crazy for me lately. So move in, transition. Like this morning, I had to go to the old home to clean it so we can list it because I just found out that come tomorrow, I have to travel for work for a whole week. So it's just my life has been insane. But and then I ordered the One X player, which is supposed to be like the Steam Deck. It's like a portable PC that was supposed to come yesterday. And from what I'm hearing, that got delayed. So I might not even. I was, looking forward to playing it this weekend, testing out some cloud gaming stuff just to fly. It just will not go away. But I'm not gonna be able to test that, so kind of bummed out. But yeah, man, this is cool again. Seeing people gaming, seeing people having fun, catching up on games, man. I hope next week, hopefully, things should slow down and I want to get back to playing the Ascent, man. That game has my attention. At first, I didn't like it, but the more I play, the more I like it. So, I want to get back to that for sure. But let's say what's up to you guys who are watching. And again, this is going to be a special episode, man. We are, again, just going to give you guys our grade for the cloud gaming services and some of the memories that we've had here doing 49 episode of these. So, who is all on here? Zero Games for me. What's up, man? Good to see you for sure. Mr. Urban World, what's up? It's been so long since I seen. It's been a while. We keep taking breaks. Summer's always a busy time for us, for sure. The Gaming Boys, what's up? Good to see you. How do you say this? Etric. Hello, hello. I hope I'm not butchering that. Flush you. It's good to see you. Vet, always, man. Hey, everyone. What up, Vets? Good to see you on here, my dude. Sherry Gaming, what is up? Holt, I see you on here as well. Cloud Busters, GFN Unshield is great. Yeah, GFN Unshield is incredible with the 4K upscaling as well. Good stuff. All right, who else didn't we get? Mr. Brian. What's up? I hope I'm not butchering that, right? And Capricorn 1, what's up, man? Ray Sherrod. Yo, Ray, just shout outs. I was actually watching there's a Ryzak, I believe it was, did a whole mental health awareness thing with you and forgot who the other guy was, and you were just talking about mental health, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. So just shout outs to you on that. All right, so let's get right into this, man. We're gonna start off with grading Amazon Luna, right? So we're gonna go from Luna. We're gonna do GFN. We're gonna do Google Stadia. We're gonna do Xbox Cloud Gaming and Shadow PC, right? Those are the 5 main ones. So just gonna open this up to you guys. Let's talk about Luna. Let's grade Luna. How has the experience been with Luna for this year so far? what do you guys think that they can do to get better? And what do you guys see the future of this platform being? So I'm going to start with Holtz on this one.
Oh, I can't review it. I have to say, like, not a political
That's
NA,
right.
because I've not even
You
played
haven't
it. Or
played
even
it.
tested
You
it
haven't
once.
played it.
And
So
it's still unfair. And you know what I mean? Where does the future of this platform coming to Europe? And you know, that's all I can take on it.
you know
And
what? You can grade it on that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you, seriously, if you like frustrated that it's not there yet, grade it on that.
I still want to play it. I mean, I've heard so much hype about the controller and how easy it is, and the games that are coming. I really want to play them, but at the moment they just don't want to give me access to it. So there's nothing I can say or do about it apart from just say NA at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I'll get back to you, but let me check in with let's do someone who's actually tried it. GTP, man, how would you grade Luna so far?
And so it's so tough because not everybody, you know,
it
gets
is
to give it a
tough.
shot.
It is.
You know, Luna, I think me and you have probably had a similar ride with Luna where when we first got access, it was cool, but like a little janky, wasn't working perfectly. But like the past couple months, it's been really good, at least for me. And I think a lot of what you've been saying has kind of been the same thing. And so I would say just as an overall experience from the time I got access to now, like a B plus for where they're at in a beta. Their performance for me is probably higher than that, but as a whole service, I do want to see another channel soon. Like I want to see where that's going, and expanding to more people. Like Holtz was saying, I want to, especially since my experience is getting so good, I can't wait for more people to be able to get in on this, and that'll help open up multiplayer as well, with a bigger player base and stuff like that. So that's where I wind up with a B plus for them.
Okay. So, what do you think they can do to make the service better?
I mean, I think they're doing it because of the continued improvements. I think with expansion, I think with adding more games and channels, it just continues to get better. And then, of course, they keep hinting at the 4K streaming coming sometime soon. I don't know if that means like this fall/winter or next spring, but it seems like everybody's kind of chasing that same thing in cloud with content and with stream quality and resolution. So I think they're already headed that way to get better. It's going to take them time, and they need to let more people try it out. I'm not sure what the hold off is on expansion right now. I kind of thought by August you guys were going to start seeing something over there, so maybe soon. But I know with New World being delayed, I don't know if there's anything affecting each other between Luna and Amazon Games and all that, because we don't know how New World is affecting Luna, or Luna affecting New World, or if they even are.
Okay, fair enough. And then the future of this platform, how do you see it competing with other cloud game services? Do you see them coming out on top?
It's hard for on top. I don't know. With what I'm seeing with xCloud, I would have trouble saying on top right now, but I think we were talking about last week or at some point the expansions that they've been selling on there, and some of the add-ons and DLC hinting at purchasing. So I think the future comes down to a hybrid subscription model / you can purchase your games / you can subscribe to multiple channels at a time or different ones. I mean, what's cool is as they add channels, you don't even have to pay for Luna Plus. If there's just a channel you like, you'll be able to just pay for that channel. So the future's highly in subscription based, but I think they're also going to have this hybrid of purchasing, a hybrid of ported games and PC games, and I think they're going to do really well. I think they'll be up there in probably the top 3 of cloud gaming as we roll into next year and into 2023.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you for your input with that. Duncan, how would you grade Amazon Luna? I know, again, you guys haven't played it, but
just looking in, I would probably grade it a C-, just because we haven't really got access. It is doing the slow rollout. They're bringing the games. It's probably getting to the stage where it needs to speed up a bit. I think we want to see more channels and stuff like that. Or maybe that's just my bias coming in because I actually just want to get over here and get it playing. But I think they're in a good spot for going forward. It's just, I think they're learning from mistakes of others and just keeping everything in beta and just rolling it out. I think with the new word on the horizon, and we know how well that has been received out there through the beta periods, if that goes on to Luna, that could be a little ace up their sleeve there, along with the other games which are coming from their studios and their partnership with Smilegate as well, which people may forget about. So I think so far this year, I don't think they have done anything, oh my goodness, this is brilliant, but they haven't done anything, oh my goodness, this is bad either. It's just the reason why I'm giving the minus, the C minus, is because it just hasn't expanded outside the US. And if I think of the expansions there, we will probably see different sort of figures there from people as well.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, man, the expansion needs to happen. And I think we're going to hear that a lot with most members here. But yeah, it's pretty cool, though, to see people looking forward to this service, right? It's not like it's not something you guys are not wanting. So that's, I can say, is positive. But Monkey, let's get to you, man. Where are you at with Luna? Where would you grade it?
So I'm sort of up and down on Luna each week that we do this. One week I'll say, yeah, I keep it in beta. The next week I get annoyed and want it now. I think that's just the nature of us gamers. But Jerry touched on a nice point there regarding New World. I fully expected it to launch still in beta to other territories with the launch of New World when that game released. I'm still hoping that's going to be the case. Obviously, it's been knocked back to September now, I believe. No, it's following in September. Anyway, I'm still of the opinion that Luna will release in other countries when New World does. When that's going to be. Hopefully, it suffers no more delays, but it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm not sure about the multiple channels with Luna, though. Just in terms of, for instance, if you had Ubisoft, EA, Activision, sort of thing, that could get quite expensive. Zero touched on that there in the chat. I think they have to introduce like a sort of mega tier, if you like, say $20 a month, $25 a month, or something like that, that would get you all of those channels. If that's the line they're going to go down, that's just speculation. Grading wise, I can't really give them anything. Let's just go down the middle and give them whatever middle grade. If it's out of 10, they can have a 5. If it's out of 5, they can have a 2.5, because I'm impressed with the way that they're staying in beta and they're just constantly improving. Like say yourself and Jerry, people that I trust and respect their opinions. You guys say it's improving. It must be improving. So let's just wait and see when it lands over here.
Cool. Thank you for your fee. So we're gonna do something different this shot, this stream. We're gonna include the shot because again, it's just a chill, and it's a celebration as well. So you guys have been with us, so we're gonna try and pull in a lot of y'all's. But Kiefer, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you on here for sure. I wanted to pull up. Cloudbuster says, "Hurry up, Luna! I want a purple controller." Is that the only reason why you want Luna? The controller being purple. This is pretty interesting. He predicts that a disruptor will enter cloud in 2022. Is that going to be like Netflix of Verizon, right? Multiple channels sounds expensive. Kind of agree with that, but we know that Amazon has the pocket, so if anyone can pull it off, it's probably them, right? I think some people are digging your mic holds. Clubus is digging it for sure. But yeah, cool. So me personally, Amazon Luna, I would give it a B and C plus. Let's say C plus. B. Okay, I'll stick with a B. I'll give it a. Okay, so performance wise, it's amazing, man. Like Mr. Test, if you guys haven't seen my video, creating an app, pretty much letting you play this on unsupported devices. And I've been testing it out a lot. And man, the performance is actually incredible. And for the people saying that Google Stadia is far ahead when it comes to performance, Luna is creeping up there, man. Luna is creeping up there. All they have to do is push that 4K. I do have to say, though, something that I witnessed, and you can see in Chief's comparison, is this stutter every once in a while. I don't know what it is, but I've tried it on multiple devices, and is this like, do you experience that GTP? Like this freeze, and then it continues. Not bad enough to like disrupt the game, but you do notice that. I don't know if that's my thing.
I haven't had it on the PC app or the Fire Stick, but I
Okay.
have had that happen on some of the other ways that we're playing, like the open browser on NVIDIA or the Mr. App type thing.
Okay.
I've had some of that more, but on like the other places that I've played it, I can't say that I've really had much of that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So I would say I give it a B. They need to do some stuff though. Again, like a lot of you guys have said here, release to multiple countries is a big one, and bring in 4K support, online support, and more channels. So they have a long way to go. And maybe when they do, I can push it up to probably B plus or potentially A. Because I do think if they do those things, they definitely put themselves up there to contend for the best cloud gaming service, I think personally, right? But yeah, so that is the Luna grade. And if anyone else wants to hop on and add more to that, we will. But let's talk about GeForce now. Let's grade GeForce now for the year so far. And I would have to say, I'll give my piece later, but let's start with, let's see, Holds. How would you grade GeForce Now this year
See,
so far?
part of me was trying to be fair, and I was like, I've been really enjoying GeForce Now for the games that I've been playing. I know every week I sort of have a go of it, but the performance is actually quite great. And I've been playing games like Death Stranding and Cyberpunk, and I played like the two South Park games and Swan Yon 7 and stuff like that. And I've been really enjoying the experience that I've been having. I wish that there could be more games that I could actually rave about, but at the moment I'm going to give it a solid 7, which is better than what I actually said at the start of the year. So,
Okay.
but for going forward for the future, I actually need all the games that I really want to play. I know I'm a bit selfish, but I'm sick and tired of seeing all the same type of mechanical games going forward, or space sims, or any type of simulator. So for me to get a higher score, it needs to bring the games from the publishers that I really like. So
Okay.
EA, Capcom, more Square Enix and stuff like that.
Where do you see them future-wise? How do you see them competing with others? Do you think they're going to be top 3 on your list?
Yes. I do think they're going to be well higher than Luna. Are they
Really?
going to knock off the likes of Xbox? No. They could probably push for the top. You could probably push for second if they got all the games that I really like. But at the moment, I think they're going to stick third in my eyes.
Okay. I guess let's make this even more exciting. Give me your top 3, and do they fit in there?
Okay, so at the moment, mine is Microsoft, Stadia, and GeForce Now.
Okay. Fair enough.
And of course, I'll tell you the scores. Do you want the scores for the Microsoft and Stadia, or?
Microsoft, Stadia, and GeForce Now.
Yeah, but do you want the scores for them, or?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean Microsoft is like literally a solid 9. I've been really enjoying the games that I've been playing, and of course, going forward, I'm definitely going to be looking more into it with like the Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizons and Gears and Halos. So to me, that is the platform of choice, and I can't see anyone knocking them off the top spot anytime soon. Stadia this year, this fall, I'm excited for like another 8 games coming to the service, so that's why I give it about 8. And I have no issues with Stadia at all. I know there's a few more games that I actually want to see, and fingers crossed they actually might come to the service, but that might be wishful thinking. A lot of people say this, and then GeForce Now 7.
Okay, nice, fair enough. How about you, Duncan? What's your grade for GeForce Now so far this year?
I'm actually torn between a B plus and A minus. So and so close there. It's a high B plus or a low A minus, but I'll go nice and positive and go A minus. I think they've got the more or less all the big games of the year. You go down the Steam catalog and what games are hidden. They have got most of them, bar the notable exceptions, which are struggling to go to cloud anywhere. They've got the talking point games that had Valheim, which absolutely blew up earlier in the year. They had the Medium, they've got the Hitman. They have been absolutely knocking it out from the park. And we said every week they're bringing 10 to 15 games to the platform every single week. The library is just exploding. They've hit over 1,000 games onto the platform. They've got 90 free-to-play games now. You can sit down and play. They are just absolutely knocking it out from the park. The only thing which is holding them back, and I think we would all agree on this, the big massive publishers which still haven't come back to the surface. If they got them back, which the talk over the last couple of weeks that it's it's when rather than if they actually drop one of these onto the platform, it would be a solid A, absolutely all day. They have things to improve still, but this whole year, and we're grading it over the year.
What do they have to improve?
They need to get more of these publishers on board, the big ones, and I do want to see a couple of UI improvements, jumping in and out. That has massively improved, but I still want more. I want to hook up the Epic Games so I don't have to import all my games, because it actually took me about 20-30 minutes one day to actually go and add all these in, and I would love to tie into Uplay as well, so I don't have to go in and add individually which games I want. I just want to be able to just jump in and play whatever ones I want to if I happen to go and add. So I am nitpicking with GFN, but I think for me they at this moment in time have had the best year to date.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for that. And then top three, do they meet your top three list?
Yes, they are in the top three list. It is GFN, Xbox, and I'm struggling to put someone in the third place.
GFN, Xbox, okay.
And another. Shadows had its issues. Luna I haven't played with, and Stadia is Stadia. And we're as we're going to be talking over this whole year, you can't forget about what happened a number of months ago. So that is a massive shadow there. And PlayStation Plus, or PlayStation Now even, again, I think we're still waiting for some more improvements there, but it's for the third spot. It is really tight. With Shadow have had their issues as well with going bankrupt.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'm curious who's gonna take your third when all this is said and done.
I just want to shout out, come on, Duncan, just give us a third place. There's no runners-ups, no medals.
Okay. If we're going just over the past year and what improvements and steps, if you're putting me on the spot now, I would probably say PlayStation Now would be in third spot.
PlayStation Now, third. Okay. Cool. But just real quick, I'm reading the chat. So Ray's like grading them all, giving xCloud B-, it looks like. GeForce Now B+, PlayStation Now C+. I think that falls in line with what Duncan is grading here as well. Okay, cool. And you guys are saying xCloud is creeping up. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. All right, so let's check in with GTP. Where would you rate GeForce Now, man?
I mean, Duncan basically laid out the entire GFN situation. I would say I'm very similar to Luna here, especially with Luna being in beta and GFN being out for over a year. Probably in that B+ area as well. And those are for all the same reasons that Duncan was naming, that some of the UI improvements, some of the getting into games and stuff, while a lot of that was improved, there's still things that happen with the logins and getting in that we want to straighten out more. And of course, waiting for more games to come. But I think overall, the improvements to quality this year are really good. They've cut down load times and they have gotten things better with the sign-ins. They've gotten a lot of good titles to the service, and of course, they're very consistent every week. So they're since the whole leaving last year at the end of May with the mass exodus and everything getting figured out with GFN and all the bad press and stuff, they've really consistently worked hard to come back from all of that. So I would almost go A- with them, but my thing is I don't know that I could give any cloud above a B+, just because it is cloud and everybody's got their issues. So B+ is probably saying something really good from me when I give Luna and GFN a B+. But yeah, I'm happy with where they're headed. I think it's just a matter of getting more games, continuing to improve all the overall experience for everybody, and GFN is already on a really good path.
Good stuff. So this fly is annoying the crap out of
hate
me.
Yeah. It's that
So-
time of
I
year too.
just want to like, so if you guys see my screen go off and pop back on, you know what happened to that fly. Just
So
giving you guys a heads
I'm gonna change my top 3 because Duncan mentioned PlayStation Now, I didn't think we were gonna include that. So to me, PlayStation Now takes GeForce Now out the top 3 because
Ouch.
this year I've been playing Red Dead
Oh.
Redemption, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and
What?
Spider-Man. And even though these games should have been there a lot earlier, if I just want to review it on this year, they did bring the games like God of War as well. Plus, they did bring it to PC at 1080 this year, so I think that's a nice step up. So it's sort of evolved over time for the big hitters of games. And of course, they've got the biggest library that really interests me, especially from like the likes of the Warner Brother games.
You can't do that, Holtz. You can't do that.
That's it.
PS
I'm
Now
flipping, I'm
3.
flipping the desk. I'm flipping the
What?
desk. That's it.
Man.
Okay. Okay, fair
So-
enough.
Well, it's
Fair enough.
ran great for me for these games, and I'd rather have the big hitters than ever praise the games that I've been playing on GeForce Now at the moment at 1080.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's check in with Monkey. What's
Do you-
your take?
Do you want the top 3? I don't care.
Yeah, no, give it,
If you
give it. I
want-
thought you did.
If
Yeah.
you want the top 3, I'll give my top 3. I'm not going to
Let's-
score the first one because I think you're going to talk about this on its own. So for me, it goes xCloud, GFN, Luna. And we already scored
Okay.
GFN and Luna for me. So when we get to xCloud, I'll do that one. But yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. I like it. Hi, Monkey, you.
So, you all know that I pretty much GFN is my go-to place for gaming, but I am going to be the bad guy tonight. I'm going to be the big bad Scotsman, and I'm going to rate GFN as a C because they haven't made the improvements that I'd like to see. So, for instance, 50 megabits per second maximum bit rate is just. I need more. Just to smooth out that stream quality for me. It's good, but I want to see more. Duncan covered a lot of my issues there as well. That is linked with Epic and with Ubisoft accounts. It's an absolute pain in the backside having to add in all your Epic games and then you have to add them into Ubisoft. Shut down Ubisoft, open up GFN, add it in there. Bit of a pain. GFN is you're basically gaming on a PC in the cloud, all right? Why am I still locked at 60 frames? If I had a 2060 C rig sitting here, I could be pushing 100 FPS quite easily. Let us have it. Don't lock us to 60. Get the 4K coming in as well. It's more than capable. The rigs are more than capable. So I'd like to see them sorts of improvements. And yes, absolutely. The big publishers. GFN has a lot of content, but it can do better. So your Maddens, your FIFAs, those types of games, your Final Fantasies, I could list off tons of games, and I'm sure Holtz would agree. Nodding his head there. They have to come. You can't sort of compete without those titles. I don't particularly play them, but I understand how popular and how much of an effect that would have on the platform, especially with the qualities that it do have. So you're going to get a solid C from me. It's my go-to place to game, but they just like 2K and that is missing as well. They need to bring those games, man. They need to step it up with the publishers as well.
Okay, fair enough. And again, to my take, I think it's going to be pretty similar. So it's pretty cool because say GFN is one of your go-tos, but then you give it a C.
Yeah, because look, I'm not I'm not going to sit and fanboy over it or anything like that. You guys know me, straight down the middle. Yes, I absolutely love streaming it. For instance, Destiny is so close to local with the adaptive VSync on GeForce now for me.
Yeah.
It is so very close. So the capabilities are there. We know they're there. So let's see more. Let's push it. The 60 frames, man. Let's get more than 60 frames. You know, because everyone's improving. Holtz has got a brand spanking new monitor there. I'm sure he can push more than 60 frames now. And that's only going to help with cloud gaming. So let's see those improvements because the rigs are capable.
Okay, fair enough. I would grade GeForce Now. I would say B, and I guess I'm playing it safe with these grades. But to me, the reason okay, so I would originally give it a C, but the reason I'm giving GeForce Now a B is because, you know, like Stadia started off bad this year, Shadow started off bad. Something that people fail to realize is that GeForce Now actually started off bad, right? When they came out of beta, they lost a lot of games, but I can tell you something that I really appreciate about GeForce Now is the commitment to improving and getting better. We talked to some of the people that run it, and I know they watched this, but there's a video that we were going to do, and we didn't want to do the video because we're like, yo, it will make you guys look bad. And they were like, do it. That's what we want to see. Do it. Like, if there's a problem with our service, let us know. Put in the video so our team can work on it. I was like, oh, shoot, that is pretty cool. But you see them communicating with content creators, something Stadia is starting to do now. But they were one of the first people who did it. And then Luna came, and then Stadia is doing it now. But I would have to say the reason they get a B and not a C for me is because of the commitment to improving and getting better. As far as for games, they need to, here's what I expect from GeForce Now. So they want to be the cloud gaming for the PC market. That's the strategy. That's what they're going for. So if that's the case, then I expect them to get every single big hitters that the PC gets. So if PC is getting, you know, a game, Kingdom Hearts 3, whatever the case might be, Days Gone, or whatever the game might be, they should have that game same day release. And second thing is they struggle when big games come to that platform, right? So again, you look at most of the big games that, you know, released on the platform, there's always an issue with it not being available day one, right? So my thing is they need to improve on that, right? I want to see 4K. You know, last year they talked about Ampere coming to GeForce Now. 3000 series, why is that not a thing on GeForce Now, right? Those things can bring the score up for me to about, I would say, an A, B plus to an A. So they have a lot of work to do, but I have to say, shout outs to them for the comeback. They're killing it right now, but they still have a lot of work to do. So that's my GeForce Now grade. Did we cover everyone with GeForce Now? Anyone else want to add anything else to GeForce Now?
No, I wouldn't want GeForce Now to go 4K anytime soon. And I definitely think, you know, like Monkey, I'd rather have a higher frame and better textures ASAP using the Ampere cards than ever worrying about 4K streams.
But if they can pull off 4K, and like I think Amazon Luna and GeForce Now might be the two. Again, Stadia, even though it's 4K, it's not. It struggles, right? It's not true native 4K, but I think with the clarity that we're seeing with just the 1080p Luna and GeForce Now, I think if GeForce Now ever was to do 4K Luna, they might hit it closer than any other platform might hit it. So that's what I'm curious to see, personally.
Even if they just, sorry, I was just going to say, even if they stepped it up to like 1440p to start with, smooth that over, let's keep those high details in that, and then sort of start pushing the boundaries from there. Because like Hulk says, the 1080 is fine, the detail is great, so it is, it's not blurry that you see like on other platforms. Sometimes it's extremely blurry on Stadia for me.
Yeah.
GFN's it's sort of crispy, good, high quality textures on the 1080. So
I agree. Cool. All right, so let's move on to the next platform, which is Google Stadia. So Stadia, you guys know, last year killing it with the release of Cyberpunk, giving us 5 to 6 games for pro membership. I mean, Stadia was up there. You watch the channel, a lot of videos, podcasts, really praising the moves that they were making. And then this year happened, the closure of the first party studio, no communication. I'll get to my take, but I think the reason I'm giving this history and story is I think it's going to align with most of the people here. I hope not. I, again, want people to have their own opinion, but knowing these people, talking with them, let's get right into it. All right, so Holtz, man, how would you grade Stadia?
I said I give Stadia 8, didn't I? I did definitely get a solid B plus to me, because this year they just brought the games that I really wanted to see and play. You know what I mean? I'm never going to turn down Mortal Kombat 11, Aftermath, Resident Evil, 8 and 7, and what I mean, Judgment. And I can probably name about 10 games, and plus a lot of them were multi-platform. But for me, I actually went the Stadia route and never had a single issue enjoying up to 4K 60 on the service. So to me, I actually give it, highly praise it as an 8. Of course, there's loads of games that I'm a bit worried for in the fall, like no Battlefield, no Grid Legends, but fingers crossed they might come at a later date. But I'm still feeling like it's a strong platform for the fall games that I actually want to play, because like I said before, I've got about 8 games that I want to play for the fall. So this year all around will actually make it about 16, 20 games that I've played on the service. So, which is actually quite good for new released games.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not just all about me. I've got a family library, and the kids are all playing like FIFA 21, and they're playing Hello Neighbors, and this week they're playing the new Paw Patrol movie, and they're having a great time. So seeing this, take away from, me going to the likes of Nintendo Switch is actually a great move by Stadia.
Yeah.
And like I said, the games that I've mentioned, they're not on any other service at the moment, so that is why it's actually boosted it quite high.
Okay. Fair enough. I think so. I think it's good. So let's check in with GTP, man. Where would you hold on before I do? Sorry. What are some of the things that they can do to improve the platform? And give me your top 3 again. They're up there, right, for you?
Right, the top 3 services: xCloud, Stadia, and as I said, PlayStation Now for the content.
So Stadia is number 2 for you.
Stadia is number 2 because they've got all the new games that I want to play, and this fall. I mean, the big concern that I've got with Stadia, and it's sort of like it's making me want to step away, is that if this goes white label, it makes me want to see it as just a service towards Ubisoft Plus, which I have no problem. Other subscriptions coming to it, and I might actually just play it at 1080 if that's the way the Stadia is going to go, because I'm not really a big supporter of the pro games that are coming. Even though I've enjoyed a few, I don't think it's definitely worth my money at the moment. So I'm a bit concerned if it goes white label, but over the next month, say about till the end of the year, it's still got my support.
Okay, fair enough. All right, GTP, man, let's hear you. Where would you rate it?
And Stadia honestly has had a rough year. It's nothing like how we were covering it last year. But that being said, I'm still gonna hang around a C for Stadia. I can't go any higher than that, just because looking at the whole picture from February to now, there's just been too many cracks in the foundation and things for for gamers and whatnot. And the whole white label thing that's been coming out as well, that's no surprise. And for me, that's actually why they get higher, why they're not lower than a C, because I needed them to recognize that Stadia in its form was not working. And they either needed to be honest about that and shut it down, or they needed to find a new direction. So with the toolkit changes they have, with the monetization changes that they have, with the talking of leasing out tech to try to make profit, to get money coming in, because Stadia is very difficult to make profitable, that actually is a good thing. Those things are good things if you're a person that wants Stadia to continue, because Google needs to find a way to make Stadia work, because what they've been doing hasn't been working. Some games run fantastic on Stadia, some run horrible. Some look great, some look miserable. You could say that about all cloud, and we'll get to that in xCloud because I have some things there as well. But it's just a lot of inconsistency, quality control issues, marketing issues, and while everything, in my opinion, the past 2 months has been getting better, just looking at some of the marketing, communication, changes in personnel, and this type of thing, I'm also a realist that, looking at it from the business standpoint, these changes are being made for a reason. It's because what was going on wasn't working. It was probably quite a loss for Google, and they have to find a way to make Stadia work as a business, not just keep it around for the gamers that do love it. So I'll give them a C. They have a lot of work to do to really come up higher and to put more confidence back into the community so that more people will try it and game on there. But yeah, it's an interesting situation with Stadia right now.
Okay. And grade, are they're not in your top 3, are they?
They're not in the top 3 for me. They would be 4th most
Fourth.
likely in NPS now. Yeah. If I'm just looking at it from like my performance standpoint, knowing kind of the direction where things are headed and that type of thing. So yeah, it would have been more like xCloud, GFN, Luna, Stadia if I was going like top 4. I think Stadia needs more transparency. They need to continue their better marketing and social media. Fact that we're looking at, like, it's great to get the Madden and FIFAs this year, right, and that type of thing. But word is that's it. There probably is going to be no year after releases like Maddens or FIFAs next year. We already know there's no F1s and MotoGPs, and it's disappointing to see that kind of thing. So I'm very worried about the Stadia library next year, even more than this fall, because there's a lot of contracts ended without any announcement of new ones, and hearing just a lot of things through the grapevine that there aren't going to be. So it's an iffy situation right now. Google definitely needs to bring on games, and that's where I think the toolkit comes in, because we're going to get a lot more indies, AA games, and they're going to experiment with that monetization. So they're shaking the tree a little bit, trying to find a way to make it successful.
Okay. Good. You were skipping a little bit. I was like, let's go. Yeah, but you good.
You guys, because cameras all went out and came back too. Like, it was
Are you
weird.
serious?
Like, yeah.
We're getting hacked.
Yeah.
Getting hacked. Watchdog Legion style. All right. All right, so let me just read the chat real quick. You guys are all up here. Ron, what's up, man? Good to see you on here for sure. There was something I saw that I wanted to point out, but I'm losing it here. Anyway, let's check in with someone else. Gamer, it's good to see you, my dude. Good to see you.
For sure. What's up, guys?
Let's get this raid in Stadia. Actually, quickly, if you can, just give us your Luna rating, give us your GFN rating, and then give us your Stadia rating.
Okay, quickly, right off the top, I'd have to go. Luna would probably be maybe a. God, that's tough. I'd be B plus for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, B plus.
Wow.
Yeah, that's if I just pull it all in, right? I'm looking at, future and how hyped I am about the product and what they've been doing so far to get there.
Okay.
And then I would have to say, God, you said GFN, right?
Yep.
Man, I think that's pretty easy. A solid A for me. Yeah, they're a solid A for me. I mean,
generous, man.
Well, I'm being see, I'm only judging them against who they're competing against right now, right?
Okay.
I think who they're competing against, they're probably the cream of the crop for just cloud gaming in general right now in terms of what they're doing and their pace. They're outpacing everybody. So yeah, if this were a race, I would say they're winning. And for xCloud, you said xCloud, right? Just to make sure.
Stadia.
Oh, Stadia.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Oh, there's gamer.
God. Well, I wasn't ready for it. you put me on the spot. I wasn't ready. Okay, so let me just say, well, for Stadia, and then this might surprise you. I'm gonna go with a C plus B minus, C plus B minus. You know, I think that's fair when if we're considering everything. You know, there's you have to pull in the perception. Perception isn't great. So you have to account for that. You also have to account for it's probably still the best overall streaming tech, right? You got to account for that for right now.
Okay.
And then you have to account for what's coming in the library, and then that's where it drops. It just, it just drops off into that C plus range for me. I can't even give it a B. I would have to say C plus.
So tell me more about that. You talked about the library and what's coming. Why does that like drop the grade down significantly?
Well, because GTP said it. We have Madden coming, we have FIFA coming, and we know up to that point, and then that's it. We don't know what's after that. We don't know if
we have Rainbow Six, bro.
Rainbow Six. Did you say Rainbow Six? Rainbow Six. What?
We have Far Cry 6, man.
Oh, Far Cry. Okay, Far Cry.
Rainbow
Well,
6,
yeah, but see, I can't count those titles, man. It's hard for me to count those titles. I need something I don't know about. I need and it can't be Ubisoft. I just. Stadia and Ubisoft, they're family at this point for me. Okay. Anything dropping on that platform, I know it's coming over to Stadia. So that's a given. But I don't know what the future holds for Stadia and the new direction, although I appreciate the direction and I think it's super cool that they're thinking about money and sustaining this thing. And and also I think we have to factor in how they're iterating on Stadia as we go. They're still bringing new features. They're still building this thing out, and that could be in combination for their white labeling, right? That could be more to attract more partners for the white labeling side. That probably isn't for us, like for the OG Stadia crew, the guys that are playing games through the Stadia storefront. They're like, all right, it's great that you guys are getting this and you're here, so that's cool, but we're probably doing this more for the business of Stadia, not necessarily for the gamers right now that play on Stadia. This is to attract more partners to say, hey, we know AWS is cool, we know these guys over here, they're cool, but guess what we can do? Look at what we built out for the gamers, right? So I think that's another way to look at it. Not saying it's a bad thing, it's a great thing, because if it hits the mark for Stadia, then great. But in terms of, where they are right now, I'd have to give them a C plus.
Okay. Fair enough. So where do you see them? Like we do like top 3. So where do you see them in your top 5?
Top 5. Okay. I'd have to go. They're number 3 for me, most likely.
Who do you have number 3? Your top 2.
I'm going xCloud and Luna. And this is a personal. That's my personal pick. If I had to sit down today and say, what do you want to play? Where do you want to play? I'm gonna go xCloud, Luna, and Stadia.
And GFN 4?
Yeah, GFN 4 for me. Although they have a high grade, I think they're 4 for me personally.
Okay.
I just don't agree with their business model. That's what it is.
All right. Fair enough. Sounds of Stadia. What is good? So just so you guys know, we're trying to get them as guests in our podcast. So you should be seeing them here one of these days. But good to see you guys in here for sure. Gamer, love it. I think your Stadia 3 kind of cut people off guard, man.
I know.
But yeah, good stuff.
Hey, man, I got to look at the whole picture. They're doing a lot still, even if it isn't for us. Like I say, they have a nice round picture, even if the future isn't clear.
Yeah, for sure. Good stuff, man.
See, I know a lot of people actually say Ubisoft is tied to Stadia, but I'm the one like this year that's been going like, well, Capcom, they had Resident Evil 7 and Village. EA, they've got Madden and FIFA. Square Enix, they've got Guardians of the Galaxy and Life is Strange 2 Colors, Bandai Namco, they've got 2 Paw Patrol games, and etc. 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 They're the only service to me that actually got multiple publishers with at least 2+ games that other services don't have. So, and these are the type of games that really drive any hardware. If I have to pick up PlayStation 5 or Xbox, anything, would drive these libraries and make me purchase these games for just not just myself, but for my family as well.
Yeah. So I think my thing with that is we kind of need those games.
I'm only focusing on this year up to the end of 2021.
Okay.
Of course, it might be totally different next year, but at the moment, if I have to reflect on the year of what's been and coming, then they definitely work more with publishers than anyone else I can actually mention.
True. I mean, they got most of the big hitters this year for sure, right? Resident Evil 8, 7. They got Outriders. They got Maddens, FIFAs. So yeah, I agree. And the Far Cry 6.
The Ubisofts, and then you got the new Destiny expansions and stuff like that. So
they got the big hitters this year. So I agree 100%. I think the biggest concern is next year and the following year, and that's where things get a little shady for sure. So let's check in with Duncan, sir. Stadia grade.
Okay, I remember I have to put a warning out here. This is Stadia the past year.
Hold on, should I put that disclaimer in the bottom?
Disclaimer,
again?
the bottom, get the disclaimer going there.
Let's get that. Let's get that. Go ahead, Duncan.
Yeah, this is Stadia over the past year, and this is Stadia as the customer-facing Stadia. This isn't Stadia white label, stable, etc., etc. It is an absolute solid D for me. I could probably go lower. I think.
Wait, repeat that. A solid what?
D.
D.
And I could probably go lower. You lose your first party. You put the warning signs out there for everybody. This is not slagging off Stadia, the tech, things like this. This is how Stadia is perceived out there. We have missed out multiple yearly games now on Stadia. We are not getting NBA on Stadia this year by the looks of things. We are not getting Battlefield on Stadia. The EA deal is up. We are, for Stadia, the consumer-based product, I think it has been a horrific year. And you can see every single week there is a drama of some sort, and we've had a drama today. I'm not sure if you've seen the drama today.
What's the drama today?
Or Humankind not having cross-platform. This is... Stadia, I think, has just had an awful year, and it was going to take them years upon years to recover in the eyes of the gaming public out there. Look how long it took Microsoft to turn around the used disk fiasco, and it is just they're just in a bad sort of way. We're seeing these good features come out, sometimes half-baked, but they are putting things out there. But from a consumer base, they are not exciting people. People are not coming to the platform, and people are not playing the games or buying the games. They are just turning up there, and even the big games which came to the platform with heavy discounts, which people have been wanting, are not getting played. A couple of nights ago, FIFA had 10 people in the multiplayer. FIFA had 10 people in the multiplayer. Just get that round there. And we can see with some of the developers out there do not care about Stadia. You've got Outriders. Oh, we're not going to patch it. It's no point. It's going to cost us too much money. We've had the other ones. Stadia is not making money for the devs, so they are not caring. So I think this year, Stadia is not in a good spot. And we are starting to see the tail of the third-party games not coming. They're already missing one big game, which I thought was nailed on and coming in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's not coming. and that is with a cloud-friendly developer in Square Enix, and we know that's going to GFM.
Do you hate Stadia?
I do get Stadia.
Why?
I want Stadia to actually do so well. This week,
Tough love, hate, right?
Yeah. Tough love. There's no point coddling. Oh, everything is fine. I can see someone saying 10 people in a multiplayer game is quite good for a cloud platform. Absolute. It is. 10 people in a multiplayer for any sort of game is absolutely horrendous, and this is why you have.
Well, compared to Luna, it's actually quite good, though, isn't it?
But Luna's got
shots fired.
Shots fired. Yes, it is. But Luna's multiplayer games, most of them are cross-platform, aren't they? But sure. Yes, it's just absolutely. I want Stadia to do well because of the stuff we've got, like of Humankind this week, where you've got the state share going into that, where it's actually a really exciting version of state share, where it's going to be sharing the seeds, and then you can compare yourself to the different places or different people in the games. I want Stadia to actually go out there and push, but it's not Stadia's fault, it is Google at fault, because they're obviously not funding it enough, and we've found that out this week, basically in the interviews which came out with the people who were at Stadia Games and Entertainments.
So question, what can Stadia do for you to turn things around? What do they have to do?
Google, not Stadia, Google needs to get their wallet out and start continuing to buy these games coming, because if you don't have the library, people are going to play elsewhere. We've seen all these games are coming to Stadia. We've seen X, Y, and Z games coming, but the problem is they're going to the other platforms as well, especially the ones over the last number of weeks. They are going everywhere else. Stadia is in competition with all these other cloud services, and then you've also got the issue. I don't really like going down to business models, but it is just really becoming a thing between subbing and buying games. A lot of the games on Stadia are there on Game Pass, so they are, and you can just go and sub there. You can do that on Luna, or you can go into, if you want to go into GFN, you can get them cheaper because that's in the PC ecosystem. I just want Google to get their money out there and start bringing these games across and putting them in. Let us build up a library and get these games here. It's always down to the content, and there's nothing going to be driving us to Stadia if they don't have the games there, and especially exclusive games. We need a big banging exclusive game on Stadia.
So do you hate Google or do you hate Stadia?
It's Google who is at fault, not Stadia.
Okay. So if like Amazon had Stadia, you probably if
Amazon was pumping 500 million into Stadia, if Stadia was, do you think Stadia would be in a much better sort of position?
Possible, yeah.
What I want to know is do you think a lot of gamers will actually step away from the likes of FIFA 2020 across all hardware and Stadia just to wait till it comes to the Xbox in 6 months' time? XCloud. Do you think a lot of people are going to realize that it's more value to wait for and use a subscription instead of buying a full price game that's out next month?
People pay in different ways, play in different ways. Some people will be buying, some people will be waiting. For me, I'll be waiting for FIFA to drop into something because I'm more pro Evo. But people will buy FIFA on Stadia just to play on Stadia. I have no problem with the buying model. I think the buying model supplements the subscription model and vice versa. So I'm just frustrated that we're just not seeing more out from Stadia and singing around Kumbaya. Everything is hunky-dory in the Stadia ecosystem. They're doing well. The going white label is going to solve all their problems. All them games are going to come across. It doesn't mean that. I think people are forgetting that just because Stadia is going white label doesn't mean the developers are going to bring the Stadia. They can still go to AWS and they can still go to Azure as well. And people forget that just because of this white label, it doesn't guarantee that the games are going to come. I'm with FIFA. I don't see a vast number of people jumping on the Stadia to play it if it does not have cross-platform play.
Absolutely. That you just hit the nail on the head. I argue with people regarding that topic all the time. Why would I play FIFA on Stadia? Why would I play Madden on Stadia? I need to be where the communities are because I play MUT, which is the Madden Ultimate Team, and FUT, which is FIFA Ultimate Team, right? Can you imagine the auction houses across, Stadia's ecosystem? That'll be ridiculous. One card would probably cost 1 million whatever coins or whatever, and it's only because there's only one person with that one card. There's no way you can sustain that and play in that system. So people they get offended when I say there's no way FIFA or Madden would be a success on Stadia without some sort of cross functionality, and you need people to play with, man. That's what it boils down to. Unless you're a couch warrior, if you're a couch FIFA or Madden warrior, then all you play is local co-op with your friends, then so be it. But that isn't where most people play. That isn't how most people play FIFA or Madden.
Okay.
I just want to come to that point there, and that is exactly what is happening with a lot of people in the Stadia community. Stadia has actually reawakened gaming for them, and they've realized they're missing out on so many games which are not coming to Stadia. Like we've had people with F1 and other things, and they've jumped onto PC and console to supplement or not even to supplement, to take over their Stadia sort of playtime.
So let's didn't want to do this, but no, never mind. All right. Monkey, let's get you graded on Stadia. Thank you for that, Duncan. Monkey, let's get you graded.
There's not really much that hasn't already been said, if I'm honest. Grade-wise, it's a lucky D, and they're sneaking in with a D because
bro, D2? D?
Stadia is supposed to be a platform. Well, it is a platform, and as a gaming platform, people aren't treating it like so. I think that's pretty obvious. They just don't seem to know what they're doing. In the same way that we see PlayStation, Sony running PlayStation, Microsoft running Xbox, and obviously Nintendo as well. Yes, before anyone says, I know these platforms and companies have got years on Stadia. But if we're looking at it, you're thinking close first party, we're going to focus on third party. Only a handful of third party games are coming. Beyond this year, you've got Scooby-Dooby-Doo, what's going to happen in terms of games? Am I going to play games X, Y, and Z on Stadia? Do I want to play the games on Stadia is another issue with me, because the quality is not great. The tech, stream-wise, smoothness, latency, loading up, ease of use, brilliant. But the stream quality, the textures, it's just so blurry and it's so faded and it's sort of washed out. There's only a handful of games that I could actually recommend to play on Stadia. The rest of them, the sort of demanding games, not good at all. Cross-platform play is a must for Stadia games. Otherwise, you guys have already sort of said, there's no reason to play it. Gaming right now is all about online. It's all about running raids. It's all about trading cards in all these different games, like your FIFAs, your Maddens, and running squads on Rainbow Sixes and your Destinies and whatnot. And if you've got no one to play with, it's not a good look. So Google need to step up. Google need to fund it properly. They need to be willing to lose money. You can't make money all the time. when you're trying to build something like this up. So beyond this year, I don't know what's going to happen. So you get a D from me, and everyone's covered everything else, really.
Can I just add this? And I think when we're talking about our grades, I know that when I'm talking about my grades, it's what has happened this last year. This isn't the overall package
Overall
of what,
picture, yeah.
This is just what has happened this last year. It is not saying, oh my God, Stadia is the worst platform out there. It is what has actually happened, just to get that clarified.
Good clarification. So again, we're talking about this year so far, right? That's great clarification. So with that, I would give, damn it, I don't want to play like I've graded everything a B. And I was going to grade this a B. Shoot, I'm going to grade it a B. It's going to be a B for me as well. So here's the deal, right? Damn it. Okay, it's going to be a C+. C+. All right.
Welcome,
C+.
welcome.
All right, so check this out. No, I'm gonna move it back to a B, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. So sorry. All right, so a B. All right, so Stadia started off. You guys know me. Always talk about Stadia. It's probably my go-to platform. The game I play mostly is NBA 2K in the cloud, right? So the only cloud platform that has that game is Google Stadia, and so I go on it and I play. I used to buy all my games in Stadia. Some people don't like that model, right? Some people want the Netflix style for games, which is, I actually don't like that model. I actually like Stadia's model to where I can buy my games because I know they're not going anywhere, right? So I don't mind the model. My thing is looking in the future. Again, let's grade this year. With the closure of the first party studios, definitely took the flow out of everything that was going well for Stadia last year, right? Cyberpunk getting 5 to 6 pro games, and then the closure happened. And to this day, we don't have like a true direction from Phil Harrison. I know there've been other interviews, but we don't have like, imagine if something like drastic like that happened for Xbox and Phil Spencer's quiet and doesn't say anything, right? That wouldn't be a good look, right? People like, yo, Phil, you need to say something, right? My biggest gripe right now with Google Stadia is, what the hell is Phil Harrison? I keep mixing the Phils, but where is he? I mean, that was, and from what we're hearing, right, he was the one that broke the news to his employees. Like, yo, don't be quiet about that. Let people know what the hell is happening next for this platform, right? So that's my biggest gripe with them. The next thing is, I want to see more freaking games coming. The fact that 2K22 is not coming into this platform, it's bad. It's bad. Again, I every year shell out $200 because I buy the $100 pack and end up paying DLCs for 2K every year. So I invest a lot in that game. And the fact that Stadia is not getting that game this year, like, what the hell? We got 2K20, we got 21, what's 22? To me, that's a bad sign. So where are the games coming? Again, I've talked about this as CGX Talk, right? We knew the 5 games coming with EA. That's all done, right?
Okay, Google, spell digitalized.
Say it again?
No, I was just actually sitting there.
Disguised is spelled D-I-S-G-U-I-S.
Okay, Google. Stop. Now you say
Your mute's not working, man. I've been able to hear you for a while.
The Googles keep on speaking. You have to figure it out. I'm like, shut up. And that's why you see.
Oh, we gotta clip that. Someone clip that, man. Someone clip that.
Damn, man.
But anywho, man, yeah, we're just saying, after the EA games, right? We know about 2K. Again, like I was saying with 2K22, that's not announced yet. Judgment was a game that I actually put a lot of time in looking for the second one. The fact that that's coming and we still haven't heard anything about the sequel, right? So far, we know is Ubisoft and some Square Enix games coming for the end of this year. And that scares the crap out of me. Again, I speak with my wallet. Some people don't like when I say that on this panel, but you guys see me. I buy pretty much every single game that comes on Google Stadia. I want to buy more games, but the thing is, there's no more games to buy, especially like after I have Ubisoft Plus. So that is my biggest thing. Please, it would be so cool. Again, if we know that things have run dry, 5 games from EA is done. Capcom 10 million for Resident Evil. We know all that stuff is done. What I think Stadia should do is host another Stadia Connect. Now I know again it's been received poorly in the past, but imagine like if Phil Harrison comes or they announce a Stadia Connect, he comes and he's like, all right, these are games that are coming for Stadia for 2021, 2022. You know, EA games, like let's say Battlefield is coming, Activision, probably dreaming with that, but GTA, whatever the case might be, just add more AAA games to the lineup. I feel like that will get people really excited. So let's host another Stadia Connect and get more games coming to this platform. I feel like that would shut a lot of people up and that would build hype for this platform. I think that's what we need to see. But that's just my take. So I'm going to stick with my B for Google Stadia, but just like everyone else, they have work to do, man. They have a lot of work to do. But
yeah, see, I don't think they've got enough content that they know about coming to have hosted an event. We're sort of past the summer stage of events now, and Stadia's been very quiet in that front. They either don't have anything or they're going to drop something in the fall. Not that they don't have anything, sorry. They might not have enough that they can actually showcase as an event. Can I just clarify something? I see some people had some differing opinions of my issues with the blurriness and the textures on Stadia. Guys, I don't have a super duper $2,000 4K TV that does a lot of magic for me. I solely game on a PC monitor. So all the fancy equipment that's in your TVs, I don't see this sort of perfection, palette of colours that we're talking about. I get it on a 4K monitor. It's not doing any work, so what I'm getting is what Stadia is sending me. So that's why I have issues with that, just to clarify that before we have any more issues. But yeah, sorry.
So when it comes to clarity, I see some of you guys, and I talked to Chief about this and very religiously. So I don't own any consoles, right? And when it comes to cloud gaming, to me, he makes fun of me over this, but I do think Stadia looks really good and plays really well, man. I have a 4K TV. I put that Google NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. I put my Google TV on it, and it looks good in 4K. Again, I'm not comparing it to like a Series X, but quality wise, it does it for me. So like, I'm not quality wise, I'm okay. I think it looks good enough for me. I'm not comparing it to an Xbox because I don't have one, a PS5
Ignorance
or a
is
PC.
bliss.
Go ahead.
It's like ignorance is bliss. If you don't have it, you don't miss it. So if you're purely playing on Stadia, if you're purely playing there, you won't really notice the difference between the different platforms. But if you jump between them, there is a serious differences between games.
And you guys know me. You've heard me say it here. I've made a conscious effort not to mess with anything else other than cloud. Right? Like I can easily get an Xbox. I have a 3080 PC right now I can game on, but I want to be fair to this channel, right? So to me, again, when you just compare cloud, I feel like Stadia does it well enough for me to enjoy it. But that's just my take. So again, sticking with my B here, but let's anyone else want to add to that?
I'll say something really quickly to that.
Sure.
Honestly, 1080p streams, I think Stadia lags behind.
Okay.
But if they have a 4K native stream out there, the clarity's fine. I mean, the clarity is good, but then it lacks detail in comparison to others. And at that point, that's when you're like, wow, this 1080p stream just might be the way I'd like to play, because I have all the detail, all bells and whistles. I actually can see fog and smoke and other weird things that I don't see with the, given the clarity of Stadia's 4K. But let me just say that their 4K stream is crispy. It's crispy.
Yeah.
But
So-
it lacks detail.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? If you don't have a Series X, which I don't, right, or PS4, PS5, and just I don't know if other Stadians have other next gen consoles, but I think for me, when I'm like, yo, it looks good enough, that's because again, I don't have a Series X to compare it to in a way, right? But I think you, Chief, and GTP, who all have like and you, Duncan, that might be, the big thing that might be hindering you guys from appreciating it.
Don't throw me in that bucket, man. No.
Hindering.
Don't throw me in that bucket.
Whoa.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say. Hey, you see how sly he was with that? He said, that might be the thing that like, no, man.
If you want to appreciate Cloud, never play anything else, is what Ace is just trying to say. So we're hindered because we play everything,
You guys are hindered,
so I can't
man.
enjoy the Cloud enough. The damn crispiness. Get out of here.
You guys are hindered. Hey, and I'm going to use that going forward, man. Hey, you guys are just hindered, okay?
You're hindered,
Now, but the 1080p thing for me is like when I compare Stadia with Luna's 1080p or GFN's 1080p versus Stadia's 4K, there's always a level of detail that's missing. Right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well, this 1080p, I'm getting 60 frames per second and super high detail. It isn't as crispy, but man, which ways do I really want to experience the game at this point? And it's a clean 1080p, mind you. Stadia's 4K is so crispy, man. Sometimes you can almost cut it with a knife, but you're missing a lot of detail. And then now you just have to choose: do I want this sharp picture, or do I want like a full gaming experience over here? So if you compare Rainbow Six Siege for example, and long story short, Rainbow Six Siege on Stadia, it has a very thin feeling. It feels thin in 4K. You walk around the rooms, it feels paper thin, right? But on Luna and GFN and even on xCloud, it has more body. I mean, you see different shadows. It's, things are it really feels like a room you're walking around in versus this vanilla paper thin environment that you can sort of just blow down.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, I agree with Gamer there, because it's all about, for me, it's the immersion of a game. Like a game to get away from the real world as such. I want to be immersed, so I want every detail I can get out of that. I want you to draw me in. I want to have tunnel vision. I don't want to see anything else round about me. The higher level of detail that you have immerses you more in the game, and I just feel that you enjoy it so much better. But when, like what Gamer says there about it, sort of feels thin, stale, and it sort of lacks a bit of substance, and that just sort of ruins it for the way that I like to game anyway.
So here's something to consider for me. I was thinking about this the other day, right? So you look at all these cloud gaming companies, right? You look at NVIDIA with GeForce Now. You look at Xbox Cloud Gaming just coming out of bringing this Series X Blade. You notice how they're not pushing 4K, right? I think the beauty with cloud is it just being good enough for you to have a decent experience. I don't think like GeForce Now is trying to say you're going to get the best performance quality. I think that's why they're putting it at 1080p and not 4K. And you see Xbox, right? They could have pushed 4K, but they're still at 1080. I mean, Google Stadia went above everyone else with 4K. But my thing is, if it's good enough to enjoy a game and look decent enough, right? I think that should be the bar for cloud. I think we're trying to set it to console PC level, and that's
Well, why
why we're
should
disappointed.
why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we expect the best possible?
It's a new tech, dude.
Yeah,
It's
well,
it's not local.
I
What
agree.
what I'm going to say here is it's convenient. It is convenient to when cloud is the best, it will be pushed like we had with the Cyberpunk. When that Cyberpunk was running better on Stadia, it was, oh my goodness, everybody should jump out over here and
But-
play
That
on.
game sucks, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
What? Cyberpunk sucks?
So bad, so bad.
As
Oh
in, like,
man, I like
The
this
worst
Planet
one of
twice.
one of
Wait.
the worst game releases in the history of mankind.
What?
None of this shit that this excuse the French. None of the stuff that was supposed to be. It's like a third of a game.
Yeah, the game
It's
is
like a third of
broken,
what they
but
said. Yeah,
I
so
mean,
why should that be applauded? Why should that be applauded, dude? You ripped us off, man. You ripped every single one of us off.
true, but
Don't get me
performance
started
wise,
in Outriders. Oh yeah,
But
performance
wise though, it ran okay. Like if you comparing it to the current gen consoles with the PS4 at the time and the
Yeah, that's the exact point I'm making. You can't compare. It only gets compared when it's convenient to compare it. I think Stadia set their bar up there, and I think we should hear from GTP because he's been too quiet.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Can I just jump in on this for a
No,
second?
throw him in
I am
there.
here
Come on,
to
come on,
chill and listen. Plus, it's like I'm sitting here thinking in the background because like everyone's talking. I'm like, man, every single time Stadia be taking so much time in the
does,
podcast.
man.
And it's like I want to talk about xCloud and PS Now, and we ain't gonna have time because we want to talk about Stadia so much. No, look, everybody has such good points with everything, and I love how Gamer TV explains the paper thin. And he explained that to me before because I was like, "What do you mean by the paper thin?" And he's like, "It's a term we use." And I was looking at a lot of my comparisons. I was like, I get it now. I get what that means because I'm always looking at the texture qualities. And for me, I'll put it at the 4K thing. I think resolution for cloud gaming is overblown. I think a solid 1080p 60 stream with games running at high or higher in their fidelity, almost at infidelity, in their fidelity, and making that look really
I mean, it is
good.
an infidel move.
It is, especially if you can be hindered. But yeah,
podcast,
so it is overblown. And I've shown, look, I put a picture of Grime up on Twitter yesterday just showing, look at the stream quality of GeForce Now at 1080p versus Stadia and the texture quality of this game. It blows Stadia out of the water. And I've done it with other games. I've shown Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which of course isn't a 4K game, but they stream it to you at 4K on Stadia. And I've compared that to GeForce Now's 1080p, and their 1080p looks way better in that game when you're streaming versus their 4K. These are just things that happen. I want all the cloud to be more concentrated on stability and content and a solid stream, and then we'll work on the 4K. It's great that Stadia jumped onto 4K, but I don't think they took enough time to think about the overall gaming experience, not just let's jump to 4K and upscale all these games and so forth. What Hell Monkey's saying about the blurry image when you're on a monitor, it's a completely different thing being on a 4K TV that's upscaling and sharpening and doing all these things for you. Even if you try to turn them off, there's always some kind of processing to the image. But when you go to what I would call a pure experience, going over to a gaming monitor that's not doing any of that, and you could plug a Chromecast in, you could plug a Google TV in, you could be on browser, it doesn't matter. They all look the freaking same. It's the same thing. You could do VP9, doesn't matter. It's all the same on the PC monitor. And some games are going to look that way when they're upscaled and then streamed to you. They're not as clean as a lot of the 1080p streams I see from GFN, even xCloud sometimes, and Luna. So, you know, with the whole Stadia thing, I think they just kind of like didn't concentrate on the right things. And then that gets you back to Vet's comment of Google, would you please treat Stadia like a gaming company so it can succeed? And I could give it like a B+ next year, like I did with Luna and GFN, instead of a C or less, because it just hasn't been a great year for them.
Okay. Let's wrap it up.
I just want to say one more thing. I just want to go for a
ahead.
point. It's just to say I've got a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. Just say back to the comparisons. Where I play most is on GFM, and I've got everything. So I'm just putting it on GFM by a fair bit.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm okay. I guess that's what I'm gonna end with. I'm okay. I'm okay with Stadia. I'm okay. I'm not gonna get an Xbox. Yeah, I'm okay. I like my 4K. I'm okay. Now, if I see a Series X, I might change my mind, but right now, I'm okay.
Well,
And in
I
all
can say
fairness,
this.
Stadia is not your only platform. So you can access many other games, be it
Yeah,
GFN,
see,
Yeah.
there you
Shadow,
go.
Yeah.
max
There you go.
settings.
It's my only
Yeah.
cloud. It's my
So you
only
can be
cloud.
okay with Stadia
Yeah.
easier too, because it's not your only cloud way
True.
that you play. You
That's a
have
good
so
point.
many
That's
that
a
you
good
can jump
point.
around, and that helps us as well. And I think all of us here pretty much play on everything you can think
That's
of.
true. That's true. And yeah, for I have a hard time with people who are just exclusive to one cloud platform because I feel like that kills it, right? Again, you look at your movie streaming device services. I mean, like, why be exclusive to Netflix or HBO Max or Disney Plus? Have all of them a la
Yep.
carte. Play whatever the hell game you want to play. But yeah, I agree. That's a good point, GTP. So let's move into xCloud. I want to give some room here
Oh
to grade
yeah.
these nicely. So where would you guys? Let's start with GTP on this one. What's your grade for Xbox Cloud Gaming?
F.
So, while I put xCloud at my number one, then GFN, Luna, Stadia, they will get the lower score than Luna and GFN. And I would probably put them, for me, at more, keeping in mind as well, they are in beta, and we've just gotten access to this PC app. If you're not an insider on PC, it's super easy. Go do it, jump into the app. It for me, is working way better, and I think for Hellmonkey, that's
Yeah.
been the experience as well. This app has been really cool,
Yeah.
working really nice. So I'm gonna go like B minus, B plus, B minus to B. B plus was for GFN and Luna, because there's still games on there that I'll jump into that, of course, are on the old blades. And while latency for those has gotten better with all the other upgrades that are happening, I can't go back. Now that I've tasted the games on the custom Series X blades, and there's about 50-ish of them now on there, I can't like go back when I load up a game on like one of the other blades. I look at it, I'm like, yeah, and I close it out and I go pick a game that's on one of the new blades. That's my thing. So, and almost every new game that's coming out on xCloud this year is going to be on the new blades. So that's great. I don't have to worry about that going forward. But that's one of the reasons for me that it does that. The other thing is, I trust a lot of the community out there. And while for me, xCloud, the latency is like really on point, and the quality of the stream, the bitrate changes are getting better. I'm getting less pixelation, some games none now. It's just been really incredible. I know for some people that's not the case. And for xCloud, probably more the case that happens than with other services right now, because they are ramping up. So that brings it down a little bit too, because it's hard for everybody to get a more consistent experience. I want people to experience the xCloud that I've been experiencing, because it's just been really awesome. Even if it wasn't quite as good as it is, content. And even people I know that the experience isn't perfect yet, they still play on xCloud, because the games they want to play are there, and the games that are coming this year they want to play are there. So, and I know Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite, even if it doesn't always play perfectly, I can tell you a ton of people are going to be jumping into that on the cloud. But I think Microsoft's working quickly. I mean, I literally have nights where I go to bed, a game was playing one way, I wake up the next morning, it's better. Like, I see improvements that fast. So, but I'm going to say a solid B minus for some of the other issues that I mentioned. But I really love where xCloud's going.
Okay. Fair enough. Good.
Especially since we haven't been charged for it yet. See, because people don't talk about that a lot. I had Game Pass Ultimate ever since it existed. They added xCloud to that without ever raising the price. So
That's
while if
true.
you weren't already a member, you feel like you're signing up for $15 a month to play cloud. That was never their intention. They're not marketing that as a standalone, you should subscribe to this for just cloud. That's for console, PC, and cloud. And they threw that in for nothing. I mean, Microsoft's footing the bill to improve this. They added nothing to do that, and I think that's really awesome to add that to Game Pass that way.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because some people have like 24 to 48 months of Game Pass already paid, and this is just like in addition to it. So good stuff overall. How about you, host? How would you grade Xbox Cloud Gaming?
Oh, this service just blew me away this year. I have to say, they brought all the games from RPGs and all the games that I like. They brought Outriders, they brought, what else did they bring? They brought Destiny, Beyond Light. I've been playing that. And all the games that I've been playing on cloud of late, Gears, Forza, Halo, Master Chief Collection, I just ran flawless, especially with the upgrades. And it really hypes me up for what I'm going to actually see in the fall, because I'm actually going to do backflips like everyone else for Forza Horizon 5 and Halo 5. Halo Infinite, sorry, not Halo 5. So to me, it's just a service that I've been, it's been a pleasure to play, because I've never had no issues, even on the earlier blades, and yeah, it's just been a great overall experience.
Okay.
And if I had to sit there and say to someone again, we've just said like half of the year, what service was a highly rate, it would definitely be xCloud. But part of me wishes that, I did say this at the start, that with the ultimate packages, I don't want Xbox Live, I don't want Xbox Game Pass, I don't want Xbox Games with Game, I just want the cloud Game Pass feature. So if they can bring that price down a little bit in the future and offer a HDMI dongle device, I'll happily jump just on xCloud for that.
That can be coming soon, so we gotta keep an eye out for that for sure. But yeah.
But overall, this service is definitely money for value.
Yeah. So I feel like xCloud so far has been the only cloud platform to performance-wise to see like overnight change, right? I mean, GeForce Now has been beta, but when it came out of beta, performance was kind of still the same. You had to have like features like VSync and all that stuff to where you do see a little improvement. Google Stadia launched at 1080 and 4K, and performance is still the same. xCloud has been the only one that, said we're going to improve performance by adding and they did, and you noticed that. So Google Stadia again said in the future they can do 8K 120 FPS, but just seeing this, it's like, holy crap, like this is what has been promised for the cloud, and just seeing it happen in real time, again, not paying extra, right, not updating your hardware, but just they do all the work in the back end and you experience boost in performance. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
Experience. I know Halo Infinite Anna is coming out in the 32.9 ratio and supporting ultrawides below that ratio, and so is Flight Simulator. So I'd love to see if Microsoft will actually support ultrawides going forward on the browser. So that's one thing that I would love to see.
You got that monitor, right?
No, I'm just trying to say, it looks actually quite small for a lot of people. I'm not just saying, I'm just trying to say that. Because Shadow was focused on ultra-wide, and I'm at the start of the year, and they succeeded. So maybe if Microsoft want to give people a new immersive experience, maybe they can actually push these blades to a little bit further than the casual 16:9 ratio.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, but I think that's probably like last on people like your list of upgrades to get, right? But yeah, it would be cool to see. How about you, Duncan? How would you rate Xbox Cloud Gaming?
I just have to slag off Holtz here a wee bit here. I think Holtz is overcompensating for things. He's got his big mic now, and he's got his big monitor now.
this mic was here since day one. This has been 50 episodes I've been in.
Holtz is stepping its game up, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
But with Xbox, for me, this year, again, we're rating this year. For me, it is a B+. They've brought the games. They have flicked the switch overnight and did the Series X upgrades. It is far, far, far from the finished product. I think it is inconsistent at times, and it's inconsistent in game. So going back, I was playing Forza before it actually gets taken off. Forza Motorsport, and moving in between even tracks in game without even leaving the game, it can deteriorate quite badly. There's some tracks that look absolutely stunning, and other ones are nearly unplayable because of the pixelization and things like that. However, the moves they have made and the groundwork they're actually making is just absolutely, it's what you want to see. They're invested from the very, very top. The head of Microsoft is on board. He's retweeting gaming tweets and things like that, so you know they are in for the long run, and they've started investing in cloud-only games going forward, which is what we all want to see here. I'm assuming as cloud gamers, we want to see where this is going to go down in the long run. I just want to see an increase in quality on xCloud, because it's, again, just a bit inconsistent, and I want to be able to buy games on xCloud, which we know is coming as well, and be able to play our purchases, which we've already bought as well. But we do know that is getting worked on. But I think this has been a very solid year. It's been a breakout year because if you go onto social media, you see people who are not normally Xbox gamers are jumping on the xCloud and getting involved. And when Forza drops and when Halo drops, you know that is going to shoot away up because exclusive games matter.
Yeah. Microsoft again, I think they are positioning themselves for to take in this holiday season, and it's going to be pretty cool to see how it all plays out for sure. Okay, gamer, great Xbox Cloud gaming so far this year.
Yeah, I would have to give it a solid B plus overall. Just given that
Okay.
my performance with xCloud is phenomenal. It's on par with Stadia for me. Not across all games, just the games that I actually want to play. I'm not digging through the library to find some obscure game to just say, oh, this sucks. I'm not doing that. I'm sticking with games that I really want to play, and most of those games run great. So I'm pretty sure if I look hard enough, I can find something that's just horrendous. But same with anything though. But yeah, they're a good B plus for me. They've stuck by their guns. They're doing the things we all want them to do. They're changing the game, and how can you argue with the value? They're giving me one game that I can play across the cloud, PC, and console. One game, across 3 different, platforms, individual platforms. You can't really compete or beat that. So if anyone, bashes xCloud and talks crap about it, they're absolutely nuts. You're pretty much saying you'd like to spend your $60 on one game to play on one platform versus, spend this $15 and play that same game across a PC, a console, and the cloud. I mean, the logic doesn't add up. So xCloud for me, that's why they're in my top spot, period.
Okay, fair enough. And Monkey, where would you grade it?
Big fat C. Yeah, it's good. The improvements are good. It gets you excited. Gamer, thank you for stealing my point there about the 3 different places you can play. Yeah, I'm like Duncan. The latency has improved so much. It was almost unplayable for me in the beginning. And just as the weeks have gone by, now it's in the PC app. You can see the stream quality and the resolution is dropping. But we're maintaining the frames, and I'm maintaining the lowest amount of latency possible for my location, which for cloud is okay. It's great, but it takes away the immersive experience that I was talking about. When the picture goes blurry, I don't want to really be driving around Forza when it goes that blurry way, and it comes and it goes. The only thing that's keeping me going is the latency's good, and the games, the content. I can't play Forza anywhere else in the cloud. Xbox is the only platform that's allowing me to play that game right now. The same with the Ascent. So ultimately that's what it's going to come down to. But yes, they have loads to improve. The latency's getting good. Let's just keep that resolution good as well. Let's keep the frames. And as Holt said, and I think Duncan said, Duncan, let's have a cloud only. Let's give that option there in the future. But I think that's going to come when it comes out of beta, hopefully. We'll wait and see. And with our very own Mr. Test in the Discord, he is an absolute magician, by the way. He is just... He's thrown out apps for all the platforms, man, so you can play on your Fire Sticks, your Shields, your Google TVs, so there's always going to be a way, if you play on TV, to access all these in some form or other, whether it is from Microsoft and Amazon and whatnot themselves, or whether it be with our very own little WizKid, because that guy's absolutely wasted, man. He should be working somewhere. Like, massive, man. It's so quick as well, and the quality is great. So yeah, and that's I see, because I've had my ups and downs. They just need to iron out those inconsistencies. They've got the content. It's very exciting looking forward. What more do you want?
Yeah. Fair enough, man. Yeah. Inconsistency is something I've heard most of you guys say, and I do agree with me. There's inconsistency, but again, we got to give them a little breathing room here because they are again one of the first companies that has made a change to performance, right? We haven't seen that. There's been rumors and talks about, Nvidia saying they're going to get 4K and PlayStation. They brought 1080p to PlayStation now, so gotta give them that too. But yeah, I would say for me personally, they are priming up. I think this holiday season is where we're gonna see Xbox Cloud Gaming take off. They're gonna get a beef from me as well, but I think come this holiday season, they're gonna be above most of their competition. Having these two big exclusives, I feel like you're gonna see marketing from Xbox with xCloud like you've never seen before. And again, you just when they launched out the Series X Blade, you saw that little campaign they did. Imagine like being able to play Halo Infinite in the cloud and Forza, and possibly by then, hopefully, Flight Simulator, and if they get Battlefield 5, the new Battlefield, let's call it that, on there as well. Talk about like a marketing campaign like no other. And man, you're gonna see a push this holiday season, and I think that's gonna put them above anyone else. And don't be surprised if we get other features like being able to purchase games from Xbox Marketplace and play in the cloud too by then, and possibly 4K. But yeah, I feel like they're gearing up to have a great holiday season. But so far this year, they've made some improvements significantly with performance, and they get games that no one else is getting on their platform. So they get a B from me as well. But yeah, that's Xbox Cloud. Did we cover everyone else for the grade? All right, so let's move to. We're not gonna grade Shadow, right? We know they're still working things to improve things. They haven't really done much this year, so we'll just move on to PlayStation now. Um, just gonna open it up instead of calling every single one. Anyone can jump in. How would you grade PlayStation now this year?
I'll go first. As
Sure.
the biggest hater of PlayStation, and the way that they treat gamers is just, we could go down a long road. PS Now is absolutely fantastic for me. I don't know what they did after they turned up that 1080. I think it was pretty common across the board that it was not good quality. Now for that £10 a month, I can play all these PlayStation exclusives in full 1080. Because I have an NVIDIA graphics card, I can upscale and whatnot on the PC. Fantastic for what they have right now. Only being on PC, that's their biggest downfall. This comes down to the way that PlayStation work. They have relied upon their loyal fan base for way too long, and when you see the value you can get elsewhere, PlayStation is not up to standard. Yeah, they make fantastic games, but they need to come out onto Android, onto iPhones, let us possibly play in the browser. Otherwise, they're just going to kind of get left behind in terms of the accessibility and the content. Yeah, exclusives are great, but are they going to be worth paying for the console when Game Pass is putting all their exclusives into the cloud, onto PC, on your TVs, possibly? Well, it's going to happen. They're getting left behind. They're getting an E from me, just for that. They're going to get an E. It's just being on PC only, man. You're just locking out so many PC or console. You're just locking out so much potential there because their exclusive games are fantastic. Get them on PS Now. Will I pay more money for it if they have exclusives? Yes, I would, absolutely. But let me play them. Let me play them everywhere like everyone else is doing and keep up with the competition, please.
Fair enough. Yeah, they did definitely. That's I would say one of the biggest thing holding the PlayStation platform back is the fact that they're just exclusive to PC, man. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
weird.
you're not guaranteed the first party games either until a couple of years down the line. So yeah, the quality's improved, fantastic, but they need to do more, much more.
I agree. Anyone else for rating PlayStation Now? Just jump in.
Well, I wouldn't definitely give it an E. No, if it took away all the first-party games that I mentioned at the start, they still got like Red Dead Redemption 2. They still got Neo 2.
Red Dead's not on cloud; it's console only.
On console only, but it's still PlayStation Now, isn't it? You know what I mean? We all praise the hype.
No.
And
I don't care,
as the say of us, not us just picking on the, and there's just loads of games I can sit there wholeheartedly and say, wow, I would play these games in a heartbeat at that price of entry at 1080, and no one else has got them type of games.
But they don't really have any.
The old games, though.
Okay,
so Judgment is an old game. Neo 2, Red Dead.
Judgment's leaving. Judgment's leaving September.
But it's still this year, wasn't it? It was still this year. I wasn't saying when I was rating Xbox and xCloud, I never mentioned games that are left or GeForce Now. I was just saying this year.
But Xbox got Yakuza though, the newest one.
That's why it was rated quite high. But at the moment for PlayStation Now, they got games that did captivate me this year and did want me to jump into subscription and try the 1080 stream.
I agree. And I'm going to give PlayStation Now a solid C. Maybe C minus.
And I'm going to jump in here and shock people. It was my pick number 3. I'm giving it a C plus. It's upgraded. I'm just going through what has happened the last year. They have doubled their resolution to 1080p. They have got the games that people want to play. They have the exclusives. Yes, the exclusives may come and go all over the show. Obviously, I want the exclusives there the whole time or given options to buy them. But the exclusives are there, and no one can argue with PlayStation's exclusives.
And you got F1, didn't they, Duncan?
Yeah,
Formula 1.
They got Formula 1, and you have multiplayer lobbies.
Yeah, I give them a C.
Duncan.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's all right. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Yeah, they get a C for me. Talk about like missed potential, man. Like out of all these cloud gaming platforms, missed potential. They've been one of the first in the game, and they're so behind still, right? Just common things that they can do to improve, expand to multiple devices, get your first party. Like they don't even have to get same day releases. Bring your old PlayStation 4 games. I would love to play. I was gonna say Left 4 Dead. It's not Left 4 Dead. What's the Jeez, what am I drawing? Oh my goodness, Last of Us 2. I would love to play that in the cloud, right? The Samurai game. Jeez, I'm drawing the blank in all of Sony's exclusives, man. I would love to. Thank you. Would love to play that in the cloud as well. Now it's on there too. Now too. It's on there right now, and that might stay from what I'm hearing. Right? Just no exit date for that. Yeah. But anyway, they have a lot of good exclusive missed opportunities, so they get a C. But they can easily turn that around for me. Easily. It's not even.
I am not a Sony fanboy. I play on everything. I like my PlayStation. I like my Xbox. So, but I think I may have to be the voice of PlayStation on the podcast here. I think people are completely and utterly for writing off PlayStation. They keep on coming up with something on the platform, and there is always going to be a game to bring you to PlayStation. And as we can see, PlayStation 5s are like hen's teeth at this moment in time. They are just going like that. And when they get their cloud stuff, when you actually take a proper interest in it and it's not a side project, I think we're going to look back and maybe ponder what we were thinking at the time. That's my opinion on it. I think PlayStation are going to drop stuff there, and they are going to put their exclusives. Oh, we nearly made the whole show.
He's gone.
So
he
close.
didn't like
So
what you were talking
close.
about, man. It's
Yeah.
like, he's gone.
Yep.
So
But,
close.
but I think writing off PlayStation at this moment in time, I think could look a bit foolish down the line, because I think if they just start dropping their bangers down there, I think we're going to maybe come back and
They won't.
have a think
No.
again.
Do you think Sony Interactive Entertainment is going to drop £80 to £100 worth of first party games on
There
the
we go.
PlayStation now?
I'm
That,
glad you
mate,
said
I
that.
don't see that happening,
I'm
man. I
glad
just
you
can't
said
see
that.
it.
Yeah, but like with Microsoft, I can see them doing you can go buy them.
So
You
here's
can-
the thing, and
That's a different case in point.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
it's a subscription only service right now, PS Now, they would need to adopt a whole new strategy and business model of that then.
So does Microsoft. When we were talking about that, I that's where I think we're going to see. They do not want to drop that money because they make an absolute killing on these games. Because as you see with the stats going there, they are absolutely flying with the game sales. So I think if and when PlayStation decide to take cloud properly serious, I think we're going to see that where you will be able to buy the games there. And I think Dara's point is absolutely on the money there with Tencent. I think that's they are the sleeping giant now who hasn't been awoken as yet.
so I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Okay, so this generation, I don't think we're gonna see Sony match Microsoft with first party exclusive games in the cloud same day release. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna learn a lesson this generation, and the next console cycle they might, but I think Sony's too arrogant to offer the games same day release on the cloud for subscription fee. I don't see that happening. So I think Xbox is gonna run away with that this generation, but then they might make some changes come next generation. So that's my prediction. I might be wrong.
Yeah, but do
But
they
we get
need to?
see. Yeah,
That's
I
a
think so.
great question.
I
No.
think so. Here's the thing: they're gonna learn from this, man. People think I'm joking. Yeah, this sold 10 million, man. Just wait till the end of this generation. You're gonna see the impact of what Microsoft is doing Game Pass, and they're gonna have to make some changes.
I agree,
think-
but see, I think that's Game Pass in general. I don't think it's cloud. Like, for example, we would like to see all of these great PlayStation games in the cloud, right? But most people don't. I mean, most people don't really care about cloud. And I can't see PlayStation caring about cloud, or even Nintendo for that matter, right? Because hell, I would love to play Zelda in the cloud.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care because it isn't a big enough market and audience yet. And spinning up cloud for them, they can do it at the last minute and still have droves and droves of people play. So I think they're just biding their time. They don't care.
It's a good point.
So, Gamer, you made a great point there, and it popped something into my head that I was thinking about the other day. So we were talking about this in our CGX talk about the advantages of cloud are they're coming down with the next gen consoles and the things that the PCs are doing as more and more become available with preloading games, etc. But Gamer makes a great point. The cloud is going to offer a place to play with virtually infinite storage, where the size of games doesn't matter, because as these games get better and then we move on to like the next generation after the one we're in right now, how big is a game going to be, like gigabyte wise? They're going to be massive as we demand more. I think that is when the the cloud is going to come into play, and I think that's when possibly we see the giants in Sony and Tencent start to take it seriously. Right now, I don't think they have to.
So cloud will offer a solution for storage space.
Yeah, because you think
Yeah.
about it, the more extreme we push with gaming and the things that you can do, the interactivity, etc. Cloud's the only place that offers that, unless you want to have a double fridge sitting next to your TV, a refrigerator, as some of the members might call it. Unless you want like a full server farm in your front room, then you're not gonna. It's just not gonna be possible, I don't think.
True.
One
That's
thing,
a long way away, though.
Just before we wrap up here, I think no matter what, the three big winners in cloud gaming are going to be Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Yeah, no matter what, because they have the infrastructure already there. It may not be xCloud, it may not be Luna, it may not be Stadia, but they are going to be the big winners no matter what, because everybody will be using their services. It's something we touched on beginning of the year, and I think it's still here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's bigger than gaming is a huge revenue for them, but I think this battle is a cloud battle. It's bigger than what we're seeing right now, I think. But I think overall, Duncan, that's a good point. So just to wrap this up, thank you guys for watching. Again, 50 episode, man. This has been really, really cool. Just chatting it up with you guys, talking about cloud gaming. We definitely gonna keep this going. But just there was another segment where I want to talk about like different experiences and favorite memories from all 50 episodes, but we didn't get to that yet. So maybe we'll do that another episode. But just want to give members a shot to plug the channel, let people know what you guys do. So to start, Holtzman, what do you do and where can people find you?
So you come and say hi, and if you agree or disagree with anything I said on this panel, hit me up at Holt86 on Twitter, and we can just carry it on and talk about games.
Cool. Thank you, Holt. It's always good to have you as a member of this panel for sure. How about you, GTP? What do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much know the deal. Any kind of game hardware testing I can do, cloud, console, PC, Game Tech Planet on YouTube, and at Game Tech Planet on Twitter. And there's new links in all the descriptions too. We're adding more social media and stuff like that, but I don't even remember what it's called. So if you go check out a video, you'll find it in there. But we're trying to. I think we're trying to do too much at once.
For sure. Always a pleasure having you in the panel, Jerry. Good stuff. How about you, Duncan? What do you do, sir? Where can people find you?
You can check us out at cloudy.games as our website, and you can check us out on YouTube at Cloudy with Games. And tomorrow we are dropping a video where we think GFN is going now, and we have very strong evidence of where they are going.
Nice.
So there's a little tease.
That's awesome. We'll be checking that out for sure. Gamer TV, sir. It's always a pleasure having you in this stream, sir. What do you do? Where can people find you?
Just quick little short videos. Find me on Twitter and YouTube, GMR TV Plus. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So we have Ben, also a member in here, but he's not on here. But shout outs to Ben. What's his thing? His YouTube
Cloud
channel.
Trippin'.
There we go. Cloud Trippin' Entertainment. Shout outs to that. Check that out if you haven't.
Tons of videos of him grooming his beard.
All right, Monkey, sir. What do you do, sir? And do you have any plugs? Where can people find you?
Don't ask me what I do. Can't answer that question. No, look, Cloud Gaming recap video will be coming up tomorrow. It could be a quiet week. I just want to say GMR, can you make some longer videos? I want to listen to that voice of yours a lot more than
Oh,
under a minute. Yeah, no, listen, guys, like, subscribe to everyone. We're all just hitting it up. This has been a great show. I can't believe this is 50 because I've only been here for about 10 or so, but I watched everyone before that. So this is sort of surreal to see this today. Great from everyone. Well done, guys. It's absolute magic.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Hell Monkey. But yeah, so 50 episodes, man, it's pretty cool. Really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully we were able to bring you guys into the chat. We'll be mindful of doing that in future episodes for sure. But yeah, check us out on here, CGX, and yeah, we should be back next time. But yeah, check out all these guys. We'll have the link in the description below. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Till next time. Peace out, y'all.